So before starting, I hope most of guys, most of you know about me. My name is Shankar, and I'm a technical consultant. I'm working as a trainer in Valaxy technologies. Okay, I have around 8 years of experience, and in that around 4 years of experience in AWS, and currently I started working on the automation like DevOps with AWS. And here we are expected that you already know the AWS, most of the AWS services which we use. So you should know setting up VPC, setting up EC2 instances, set up ELB and auto scaling, set up RDS, IAM, S3, EBS, creating VPC and setting up Route 53. Like this, most of the common used services you should be able to understand. Then only you can able to follow this session. And AWS services, what we are going to cover in this project class is we are going to cover Route 53. In that we are going to create hosted zones and recursive. We are going to create a VPC. That is where we start. And VPC have subnets, internet gateways, route tables, security groups, and we are going to use SNS. Internally, it is going to use SES and ELB, Elastic Load Balancer, and we are going to use the SSL certificate to secure our environment. For that, we are going to use the ACM. Next one, we are going to create EC2 instances, assigning Elastic APIs and creating auto scaling group with this AMIs and RDS. Under RDS, we are going to create master database and we are going to create multi-AZ and taking the snapshots we are going to do. And in S3, creating buckets and accessing those through IAM roles and how we can get the data onto EC2. This is what we are going to do. And I'm going to use Lambda function to take the snapshot of our EC2 instances because backup is necessary in any real-time environment. And also we are going to use CloudWatch so that in case something goes wrong with your EC2 instances, we are going to get a notification through the CloudWatch. Next, we are going to use the OpenVPN. It is a VPN server where you can access your servers in the secure network because you need to access your AWS data center in a secure way. For that, we are going to use OpenVPN. Right? Next, this is the project we are going to cover over here. This is how it looks like. And we are going to create a VPC with the CIDR range of 10.10.0.0/16. And we create multiple subnets. Whatever I create, it may be little vary, but this is how it is going to work. And we are going to create a NAT instance or NAT gateway to give internet to the private subnet, and OpenVPN to access the servers in the secure way. And we are going to install one of the application called WordPress, and we are going to give that one to the auto scaling group so that it scales up or scales down depends upon the load. And we are going to create a master database for that. Either we can create a read repeat or multi-agent, and we are going to use a Lambda functions to take the backup of our EC2 instances, nothing but snapshots, and CloudWatch monitoring we are going to use. And in case of any something is happening at your infrastructure level, you are going to get a notification. And we are going to map a domain with the Route 53 so that customers can able to access your website in through the domain name. That's how it is going to happen. But a user can able to log into the infrastructure with the OpenVPN connections, not the what I can say external connections. That's how we can secure our environment. Whenever you are storing your data in cloud, means the first thing you need to remember is security. So entire our project will be more discussing on security, how you can implement security on your infrastructure without having any troubles, right? So these are the steps we are going to follow. I try to keep most of the steps, but some of the steps are not covered. High level steps I have set up. So in the first step, we will be creating a VPC with the required components. Next, we are going to create an EC2 instance. So I want to make it very quick. That's why I use Bootstrap or user data. Next, these are the reference links how to create a VPC in our YouTube channel. This is the reference link and bootstrapping, how you can do the bootstrapping. Next thing is we are going to create RDS security groups and subnets, okay, under private subnets and launching the RDS instance in multi-agent. And once we have done this one, the first checkpoint I'm coming here is we have to access our RDS from EC2, which should work. And this is the link where you can refer for the RDS if you are not clear about how the RDS works. Next one, we are going to install the WordPress application. It is actually not as part of this scope because it is a application. In a real-time environment, the application team will have some application and they has to deploy it. But to make sure that our demo is working properly, for that I am going to install the WordPress application and set up necessary things. And for this, you should have a little bit of Linux knowledge. If you are not able to follow on the Linux commands, don't worry. It is not part of your AWS administration job. Next one, we are creating IAM roles and S3 buckets to keep our data because in case of instance goes down, still you need to access your data or instance is not available. For that, we are going to use IAM roles and S3 buckets. Next one, we are going to try to copy application data from EC2 to S3 or from S3 to EC2. So that's why we are going to use IAM role and we create Route 53 record sets and map that one with our GoDaddy. So I'm going to show you how to map that one in the GoDaddy and how to access your application with your domain. Next, we are going to create an AMI with the EC2 instance, whatever we have configured. Once everything is configured, then only we should take the AMI. And the checkpoint would be here is accessing the application with Route 53. So I mean to say domain name. So you should able to access your application with the domain name. And if you are not good in these areas, these are the reference links for you to link. You can go through with this. Next one would be we are creating an ELB so that all the backend instances can be attached to the ELB and we are going to create launch configuration and auto scaling to scale up depending upon the load on your website. And we are going to enable ACM. This is a part of security so that you can able to access your website on 443 instead of 18. And we are going to use the security groups, secure infra, security group and VPC level. We are going to modify our subnets, I mean to say security groups to make sure that it is accessible securely. And we are going to create VPN as well. And here the checkpoint would be try to access website from the browser. It should work. And if you terminate all the instances, auto scaling should be able to create any VC2 instances without any issues. This is what we are going to do. And there are a few more steps. I have tried to keep as much as I can, but still some of the steps are missing. I will tell you whenever I'm doing those. Okay, let's get our hands dirty and we'll try to do that one. I have logged into my AWS console and I have cleaned up most of the services, whatever I have used. So we'll start with our VPC. So first, any environment, we are going to create a VPC. In our VPC, I'm going to create two public subnets and two private subnets. Okay, the document I'm going to follow. Just assume that we are having a document which has given by your architect and we are going to do with that. So quickly I'm going to create a VPC. So here I'm going to install a application that is like what I can say online web application. I mean to say online store. So the customer came back to you and they asked that okay, we are going to launch a online shopping website, and for that I need a AWS infrastructure. That application will be developed by the customer. He will give customer's side or from other team within your company itself. So once the application is ready, they have to deploy that application in the infrastructure level. So we are setting up the infrastructure for them in AWS. So assume that the website name would be something like what I can say, Valaxy, sorry, Vyankil.com. So the Vyankil Enterprise or something is the company name. So that's why I'm naming it as a Vyankil VPC. So it is very easy to understand. And the CIDR range 10.10.0.0 I'm using, and it is 16. Next, once you have created your VPC, you are going to create subnets. I'm creating subnets. Vyankil public subnet. I'm going to give 1A. It is under Vyankil, and I'm going to give IP address as 10.10.1.0/24. Creating next subnet. Vyankil subnet B. I'm choosing B, and CIDR range 10.10.2.0/24. Vyankil. This is private subnet. 1C. 10.10.0. Sorry, 3.0/24. Vyankil subnet 1D 10.10.4.0/24. We have created 4 subnets. Next one would be, we are going to create an internet gateway. Create an internet gateway. I'm going to name it as a Vyankil IZW. Yes, to create. Next, we need to attach this one to our VPC. So Vyankil VPC, one internet gateway you can attach to only one VPC. It's done. Next thing would be, we are going to create a route table that is for private route table. So I can name it as a Vyankil private route table. Yes, to create. And this is, I'm naming it as a Vyankil public route table. Right? Next one, we need to create a NAT instance or NAT gateway. So to make this lab quick, I'm creating NAT gateway. So to create a NAT gateway, go to NAT gateway, and here you need to specify your subnet. Usually it should be under public subnet. So I'm going to choose public 1A subnet. And it requires an elastic IP. I'm allocating an elastic IP and create a NAT gateway. Once you have created your NAT gateway, you need to attach it to your private route table so that the private subnets are going to get internet access, and add 10.10.1.0/24. 0 dot, sorry, that is internal network we are going to give, and the NAT gateway. Okay. Now I need to associate the subnets which are in the private subnet. So private and private. So 1C and 1D would be the private subnets I made, and 1A and 1B would be the public subnets. Right. Next one, I'm going here and I need to add internet gateway to this one. Add. It should be from the internet, and you should get internet gateway. Save it. Now I can say my VPC setup has been completed. Let's go and jump in and create an EC2 instance. So I'm going to create an instance. While creating an instance, I'm going to choose the user data. So this is Amazon Linux I'm selecting, and it should be T2 micro. These values can be given by your architect, nothing but which type of instance you should launch or which type of operating system you need to choose. Okay. And we have created Viankyl VPC, and I need a single system. First I will configure it, make sure that everything is working. Then only I'm going to create the AMI and launch multiple instances. And this instance I'm going to launch under the public subnet, because assuming this is a public web server, and we need an IP address for this one. Either you can go with the elastic IP or else assign the public IP. But there is a problem with the public IP, because if you restart your instance, stop and start your instance, you don't get. And we need an IAM role. I will come and create and come and attach over here. Next, user data. We are going to copy the user data what I have shown you in PPT. Okay. So it is going to take this user data. It is going to install your HTTPD service. Then it starts that service, and the required packages it is going to install. Next, add storage 8 GB we are adding, and I am going to name it as a web server. Next, security group. I'm going to create a new security group. I will name it as a and web server security group, and it requires port number 22 as well as port number 80 for time being. Later we are going to disable port number 80 whenever we are talking about security and launch the instance. I'm choosing the key pair North Virginia key and launch it. That's it. Your instance is ready. We are going to log into this instance, and we can check whether the required packages are installed. Before that, we are going to create an IAM role. So to create an IAM role, let's jump into IAM. So some of the prerequisites I'm going to set it up. IAM I need SNS also, simple notification service. So in IAM, I'm going to create roles, and here create a role. I'm going to create a role for EC2 service, and I'm going to access this behalf of EC2, and the permission I'm giving S3 full access. I will name it as a S3 full access. Okay, let it be the description and create. Now I have created a S3 full access role, and I also need an SNS topic. So I will create an SNS, get started, and create a topic. The topic name, I have created a L1 support team topic. and we are going to subscribe to this one. I'm going to subscribe on one of our email ID. So create subscription. I can go here, and from here only you can able to subscribe. Create a subscription. I'm going to give email, and I have created an email for this purpose. Create a subscription. Once you have given that, it will be in the pending. You need to go to your email ID, approve that request. I have already opened my email ID, so I'm going to get a notification over here. I should approve it. Okay, you can see here AWS support. I got a notification. I'm going to confirm that. Okay, it is subscription has been successful. Now let's go and refresh this page. You could able to get. From now onwards, whatever alerts, wherever I'm using my SNS topic, I will start getting a notification. Okay, so now my instance also ready. I'm going to attach our IAM role. Okay, this feature was not available initial days, and they have introduced this around 6 months to 1 year before. Now my EC2 instance is fine. So now we are going to create databases. For that, you need to go relational database service under RDS. First, I will create a subnet, then security group, then subnet group. So for RDS, I'm going to create a security group. I'm coming back to my EC2. So security groups, create a security group, RDS SG, RDS SG. Okay, now here I'm going to add MySQL because we are going to launch MySQL database, and we can give the custom subnet, that is our subnet ID is not visible. Okay, so SG minus C50344B2. So this is our, what I can say, our web server security group. So whatever servers are there in web server security group, only those systems can able to access your database. That's how we are going to set it up this, right? Next, we'll go to our RDS. Okay, get started. I'm going to launch database instance, that is MySQL, and next we are going to do it for the test and development. If you go with production, it is going to deploy in multi-agent. Next, it is general purpose. I will quickly select required. It is 20 GB. Earlier it was 5 GB only. I'm going to give DB name, Vayankil DB, master username, Vayankil DB, master password also. Okay, I have set up the required. Okay, there is some mistake in user. I have corrected that. Next, VPC. We are going to choose our Vayankil VPC, and we need a subnet group. This, yes, we need to create a subnet group for this, but for time being, let it be. And the database name, Yankel DB, and it is going to use 3306. And the encryption, if you want to do, and the backup, let it be 7 days. And monitoring we are not going to enable, and maintenance also, let it run. To create this database, it may take little time. Meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create our ELB and auto scaling. So let's jump into our EC2 console again and create an ELB. So load balancer. Create a load balancer. We are going with classic load balancer. And load balancer name I am giving Yankel ELB, and it should be under Yankel VPC. And we are opening port number 80 in the ELB security group, and it should be spread across public subnets only. We should choose 1A and 1B, right? Yeah, public subnets. Don't choose private subnets because it cannot able to access the traffic whenever it is in private subnet. Here we need a security group for ELB also. I am going to create ELBSG. We should not use same security groups for all this because of security reasons. You are opening only port number 80 over here. So let's go. And it is saying that we are not using HTTPS. Yes, of course. In later point of time, we are going to use HTTPS. And the next thing, health check. I'm going to choose TCP. Nothing but it is going to just choose the application. And to make our instances come to in service quickly, I'm going to change this health check parameters. Next, EC2 instance. I hope it is working fine, but let's try to add it. Next thing, I will Yankel ELB and create. So ELB is created, and instances, we have added our instance. It is out of service, but still we are going to see the what I can say, this EC2 instance is fine or not. So to test our EC2 instance is fine or not, yeah, I could get the test page. It's nothing but our EC2 instance is fine, and it should come to in service in the ELB. So instead of waiting for this, we'll jump into our EC2 and set up or install WordPress application, right? Let's jump into our EC2 console. I'm connecting to my server. This is the public IP. I'm loading my key pair. So I have given required data, and let's connect. Right. And I'm becoming a root, and we'll show you the next steps what we should follow. So we are going to do the checkpoint one. I haven't launched my RDS in multi-agent. We'll do in the later period of time. So let's jump in and we'll check our RDS service. Okay, our database instance, we'll see it should be still backing up. Due to we are now using 20 GB, that's why it is taking a little more time. Meantime, we'll set up our WordPress application. So these are the steps you need to follow. You can get your WordPress application from this website. If you want to go, you can go to wordpress.org. It is going to show you the download WordPress, and here you can copy your application. Copy link address. Sorry, this is for Windows. This is what we need to copy. So copy link address and Let's go wget. You should install cd/var www.html wget. I'm going to download the required packages. Okay, it has been downloaded. I'm entering. I have extracted this one by using the tar-xvjdf, and let's see. And you can see here WordPress is there. Just go inside to WordPress, and this is the required package application. It is WordPress application. So the default location would be var www.html. So let me make a move of all this content under var www.html. So mv star var www.html. I'm under var www.html. Now if you see here, your data is available. Now it should able to pick up our data. So this step, fifth step I'm following now. So let's go to cd/etc httpd conf httpd.conf. Okay, sorry. Make sure that our application is running. So I'm going to modify this. There would be a parameter allow override to none to all. Okay, save your file. Sorry. Now you can restart your HTTPD service. Before that, you need to give this directory access to your Apache user. So chown apache Apache is a user, application user. I can give the recursive action. So ls -l var www. So everything is Apache. Good. Now let's go to HTML. And let me refresh the packages you need. Okay, some of the packages has been missed with our bootstrapping. Now it is successful. I'm going to restore removed file tar-xvjdf latest dot.gz. Okay, now it has been extracted. Data into the required location. Let's go and refresh it. It should able to pick up this. So after modifying that value, it should able to pick up our WordPress application. And to configure your WordPress application, you need a database name, database username, database password, and a database host. We have already launched our RDS instance, and we are going to choose that RDS instance for this. Before configuring from the browser, we'll test from our EC2 instance whether we could able to access our EC2 instance or not. Sorry, RDS instance or not from EC2. First, to take your database name, I mean to say DNS name. So instances, this is your database. We need to find the endpoint. So this is our endpoint, and it is going to communicate on port number 3306. Let's jump in. So MySQL and your host name. Sorry, I should provide H. H stands for host name. Next, U stands for username. DB we have given minus P. P stands for password. It is going to prompt for password. DB. Interesting.
So you have to open access code, right? In DB database.
No, for database it is going to communicate over the 3306. SSH we never do. Okay. So we have launched new database. We'll wait for that one. And meantime, I will set up our Route 53 and our with GoDaddy domain. For that, I'm going to use a website called vayankil.com. So that domain name is already available. This is the domain name we are going. So I'm going to Route 53. Here I'm going to create a record set with the vayankil.com. So create hosted zones, and the domain name would be vayankil.com. And next to create, and we are going to create our record sets. I'm going to give, instead of let it be, we are going to give the public IP of our EC2 instance for time being. So this is our public IP. I'm requesting everyone go on mute, please. Right. So I have created a simple routing policy. There are multiple routing policies are available. So www.vayankil.com. Now I need to update these NS records with our GoDaddy account. So let's jump into GoDaddy, and I am choosing vayankil.com. So manage DNS. Okay, not only GoDaddy, everywhere it will be something like this, and you need to provide the appropriate DNS names. That's it. So I'm going to give the custom, and let's copy the domain DNS names. I have updated DNS names in my name servers in my DNS in GoDaddy. Now my vayankil.com has been mapped with Route 53, and Route 53 is mapped with our EC2 instance. So now I can able to access my database. It is due to the security group block. I have enabled that one now. So let's go and configure our WordPress application now from the browser, right? So if we'll check our domain name also, whether it got propagated or not. Sometimes it may take a while. vayankil.com. Yeah, it has been propagated. If you see here, whenever I type vayankil.com, it is giving my backend instance application. So let's go and set up. We know all these details. So our database name we are going to give vayankildb. This is what we have given. Username also vayankildb. Password also vayankildb. And host, this is the host name. And all the tables, whatever is created, it creates with the WP. Now if everything is going fine, yes, I can able to do the installation, and I am going to name it as a Vayankil. Okay, Vayankil Enterprises. Username I am going to give Vayankil, and password I am going to give Vayankil123. Yes, it will be. And we are going to use a test email that is Valaxy Tech. It is a test email for swap and install WordPress. That's it. Now your WordPress has been installed, and if you want to log in, you can log in. This is all are not related to AWS. It is out of scope, but assume that just yankil.com, if somebody types, it is going to display the application. That's it. That is what you need to take it. Right? So assume that now customer application is working fine, whatever configuration we have done. Nothing but we have done our EC2 instance, Route 53, our RDS. I haven't introduced our ELB yet. I'm going to introduce ELB and auto scaling now. Because if the load is growing in your website, it should be able to serve to your load. Currently in the background, we have only one EC2 instance. Depends upon that capacity, it can able to serve only the limited users. I don't want to restrict my website to support only limited users. It can able to scale up as per the load. So now what I'm going to do is we have configured our ELB, Elastic Load Balancer. And if you see here, this is our ELB and it is in service. Now instead of IP address in the Route 53, I'm going to give the ELB DNS name. So now I have done the required setup of our EC2 instance. Let's go and take the AMI of our EC2 instance. So just jump into dashboard, and this is our web server, and I'm taking AMI because AMI is input for your auto scaling. I mean to say launch configuration, and the launch configuration is input for your auto scaling. So I'm going to name it as a YML web golden AMI. Usually we give golden AMI whenever we have configured or done with the required step. And in this we need to install all the security patches also. So just to create and let it run. Now we are going to, so we have followed this checkpoint. Next thing would be the checkpoint, access the web app from the domain. I should be the domain. So application is accessible from the through the domain. Next thing would be we are going to create our auto scaling group, and we are going to connect it. So meantime, what I will do, I am going to request the ACM, nothing but AWS Certificate Manager. We are going to use the at ELB level for the security reason. AWS is going to give it for us, ACM. There is a service called Certificate Manager. By the time we will get the AMI so that we can proceed. So this is the service Certificate Manager. Get started. We are going to create a certificate for yankil.com and star.yankil.com. This we call it as a wildcard character. Next step. And I'm going to do the email verification. Nothing but whoever owning that yankil.com website, they are going to get an email notification. We should approve that. Then only the certificate can be get generated. Now currently I have created and it is under pending validation. Let's go and approve it. It is created with my email ID itself. I will stop this recording for a while and approve it. So this is how you are. I could not able to assign a SSL certificate for yankil.com, so that's why we are going to use this website, right? So let's go and see our AMI has been created or not. So this is our AMI. Let's go to our auto scaling now. Okay. So before going to auto scaling, yeah, let it be. So under auto scaling, first we need to create a launch configuration. So launch configuration is going to use your AMI as a input. So already one launch configuration. I'm going to create a launch configuration, new launch configuration. And this is from my AMI. And it is also T2 micro. Next, I'm going to give name it as a Viankil launch configuration. And do you need any IAM role? Yes, S3 full access role I need. Any advanced settings? Nothing but user data if you want to give. I don't want to give. And 8 GB is required. And I'm selecting the security group, web security group, and launch configuration and North Virginia key. Okay, this is how you are going to create a launch configuration. Once you have created a launch configuration, you can create auto scaling group through that launch configuration. So our auto scaling group, I'm going to give Valaxy Viankil auto scaling group, and minimum size is I need 2 instances, and it should be under Viankil VPC. The instances, these are what I can say public instances, so it should be launched under public subnet, right? Next, advanced settings. Here I am going to retain this with the Viankil ELB, nothing but these instances, whatever auto scaling is going to launch, it should be attached with Viankil ELB. Next, keep this group at initial size or scale up. I'm going to change it as a scale up and down. I'm going to give 4, and here you can create increase the group size. I'm going to increase the group size whenever create a new alarm. I'm going to choose the L1 support team is going to get a notification whenever the average CPU utilization is greater than or equal to 80% for one consecutive period. Then I can name it as a CPU utilization is high and create an alarm. And we want to add one instance whenever the CPU utilization is more than or equal to 80%, and decrease the group whenever the CPU utilization is less than or equal to around 30%. I can say for one consecutive period, I can name this as a low CPU utilization and create an alarm. Now I have created alarms. So according to these alarms, my instance will get created or terminated, and whenever the new instances are launching or terminating, fail to launch, all these notifications I'm going to get. And the name I'm going to select it as a Viankil auto scaling group, review, and create auto scaling. Now it is going to launch 2 instances. Those 2 instances get launched and try to get attached with your ELB, and ELB, in the ELB level it should come to in service, right? Let's pause for a while and we'll see. It is trying to launch 2 instances. If I go to our instances tab also, 2 new instances are trying to get created. Yep, okay. This is our default one. These 2 are getting created by your auto scaling. And if I go to your load balancer, it should be try to get registered with your load balancer. It is not yet come. We'll wait for a while. You will get it registered with your ELB. So this is the common problem which we face in the day-to-day activities. Your instance will go out of service all of a sudden. In that case, you need to do the 3 checks. That is, check whether your instance is up and running or not. I'm concentrating on only one instance. So if you go here, yes, our instance is up and running. Second thing is your test is going to happen, health check is going to happen on port number 80. You need to go and check whether port number 80 is open in the security group level or not. So if you go to the web server security group, of course it is open, but just for your knowledge, yeah, it is open. Next, third thing is we need to check whether the service within the server the service is running or not. So let's go to our instance back again and let me log in. Okay, it doesn't have public IP, so let me try to log in internally. So I have copied my key pair. From here I went to try to log in. I changed the permission, then SSH minus I Virginia key. So my IP address. Now I'm trying to log into my system and let's go. I have jumped into other system which is created by auto scaling and service HTTPD status. If it is running, yep, there is no problem. These three checks you need to do. So here our service is HTTPD. If some other service, then you need to make sure that that service is running. If it may be a, I think it should come to in service by this time. Let's go and check. Yep, you can see here all these three instances are came into service. I haven't done anything. Now what I will do, I will just check and everything is working fine. Now what to experiment it, I am going to terminate all these instances. Whenever we terminate all these instances, okay, our auto scaling should identify this problem and it should launch the instances. Okay, instead of terminating, let me stop it. Okay, this to stop, go to your load balancer. Now the health checks are going to fail and the intimation goes to the your auto scaling. Auto scaling terminates the instances, two instances only. Web server we have created manually. It don't take any action on this, but Viankyl ASG instances it is going to take action. Now we might get a notification. Okay, let me show you the our email alerts. Whenever the new instances are going to launch, it is going to say that launching the instances and low CPU utilization. Like this, the support team is going to get the notifications each and every time. According to these instructions, we will go and look into the AWS console and take appropriate action. That is what we are going to do, right? So now we will get a notification that instances are getting terminated, new instances are getting created. All these activities will be tracked. And whenever the instances are getting stopped, still if you want to get a notification, you can go and create under the CloudWatch. There is a matrix. It creating new instance and terminating the stopped instances, right? And your website will be down until the at least one instance come into in service in your ELB. Let's go to our ELB and check any instance came into service. Let me refresh this. See here, currently it is not working, but I'm not taking any action. I set up my AWS environment in such a way that it should able to identify the instance failure as well as the CPU utilization load, and it should launch the required instances. That is what I have set up, right? So until at least one instance come into in service, it should be in the down state. So this is the default monitoring. Now I want to set up a custom CloudWatch monitoring that in case my instance status check is getting changed, nothing but a running state to stopped state if it is goes, I want to get a notification. Because you cannot say that all the instances are in the ELB or auto scaling. Some instances may be running independently. Whenever those instances are running independently, your auto scaling cannot recognize because it is not sitting under auto scaling. In those cases, we need to get a notification that okay, server went down or server is not available. All these status checks. Okay. So for that, I'm going to set up a CloudWatch matrix where whenever the instance is go to stopped state, I should get a notification. Let's go and do that one once it is done. Once we can see our application is running. one of the instance came into in service. I haven't taken any action over here. Okay, I was just waiting. But your AWS environment can able to identify and launch the instances. This is what your customer needs. Okay, if something goes wrong, they don't want to get a RSA, root cause analysis, RCA, I'm sorry, RCA. They need to get their website as soon as possible. It should come up. In the background, there may be a chance that your servers might be burning. You don't care. Your business will be up and running all the time because AWS is providing such kind of technology, right? Now, I want to monitor, I want to use the CloudWatch monitoring that whenever the server goes down, still I want to get a notification, right? Before going to that, we'll see the notifications what we have received into our email. Okay, you can see here, terminating the instances, launching the instances. Everything will be get notified to you so that it is easy for you to track, okay, what happened in your infrastructure. You need not to take any action, but still you should know about it, right? To our next service called CloudWatch. So under CloudWatch, I'm going to set up a matrix that whenever the instance goes down, immediately I want to get a notification. For that, you need to create rules. Okay, create a rule. I'm going to create this rule for EC2 service and event type. I want to get a whenever the instance will go to. Usually, we get a notification that instance is 0 by 2 or 1 by 2. So that also you can monitor, or you can just get a change notification. Nothing but whenever the notification has been changed. And any state or specific state you can specify, nothing but whenever it go to the stopped state, then only I want to get a notification, not that whenever it is running. And any instance or specific instance, I want to monitor all instances. That's why any instance. And I want to get a notification. That is what you want to trigger. Okay. So SNS topic I'm choosing and get a notification to the L1 support team. That's it. So I'm going to name it as a server down alert. Now I have created a rule and it is going to monitor all the instances under North Virginia region. This server I'm bringing up, web server, and I'm going to remove it from the auto scaling because I don't want to manage it under auto scaling. So remove from your load balancer. Yes, I want to remove it. So now it is in running state. What I will do, I will stop the instance. Whenever I stop it, I should get a notification. So now it is in stopping, but it should be come to the stopped state. Then only you are going to get a notification. Let's see and open. So as of now, no alert. If you use your SNS and CloudWatch appropriate way, you are going to get the notifications on each and every activity instead of monitoring your resources in AWS console. I got a AWS notification support case, and this is the instruction details and the instance. This is the instance and it is in stopped state. Concentrate on user-friendly notification. That's why it looks like that. So as of now, we have covered our Route 53 and VPC. We have covered SNS, ELB, EC2, RDS. We have covered, and S3 we don't deal much over here. And the Lambda we have covered, and sorry, CloudWatch we have covered. I'm going to secure our environment now. Then we'll come to the Lambda at last. Okay. So now we'll speak little bit about the security. So to access your infrastructure in AWS cloud, if you see here, all your servers are Okay, in it has created, but it doesn't have the public IP. If you see here, okay, for most of the servers, we never ever use the public IP addresses. We are going to use only private IP addresses. It really needed, then only we assign the public IP addresses. But how do you log into your servers through the public IP, private IP? Because if you want to access your servers through the internet, you should have the public IP. So for that, uh, uh, in the infrastructure level, what we do, we are going to use the Open VPN or VPN. Okay, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. That is what we are going to use. With that, with the help of that, we could able to access our servers in the private network. That is how you are going to provide security to your infrastructure. You don't use public IP addresses, and you need not to launch all your servers under the public subnet. Only ELB will be sitting under public subnet. Remaining all instances, you can face it into the private subnets, right? So let's go and create a VPN server. It is quite important for every infrastructure. So once I have the VPN server, I can able to log into the servers, even though if it is in the public or private subnets with the private IP address. Let's jump in and create a VPN server. To create your VPN server, it has some rules, something like NAT instance. It should be under public subnet and it should have a elastic IP address. Then only you can able to uh, access your instances. So with that, launch instance, and VPN will come into the marketplace. Nothing but you need to pay some amount, but we have a open VPN 2 licenses for free of cost. I'm selecting that one, open VPN server. Yes, select it, and they are not going to charge. And I'm going to select the T2 micro instance, and these are the charges for instance types. I'm going to choose the T2 micro instance. Next, kill, and it should be under public subnet. That's what I was saying. And I don't use the public IP. I will use an elastic IP. Next one would be the IAM role. I don't require and nothing. I'm going to launch 8 GB. I'm going to name it as OpenVPN server. I'm going to choose web security group. Sorry, I need to create a new security group because it requires some additional ports and it should be exposed to the internet. Okay. So SSH you can do only for your instance, but remaining all should be exposed to internet because customers may be using this one from the different locations in North Virginia. That's it. You have launched VPN and you need to set up some stuff over here. I'm going to assign an elastic IP, allocate an elastic IP, assign it to our instance, associate address. Sorry. Yeah, this is the one, right? Is it free? Not this one. This is the our open VPN server I'm assigning. Now let me log into OpenVPN server and do the some configuration. Okay, it is quite simple. I'm going to do it quickly. You can watch this video and do it on your own. So you should provide username as a OpenVPN as. Okay, this is the default username you should use for OpenVPN server, and you need to set up whenever you are logging in. You need to accept this. Will the primary access server node? Yes. And we are going to use 10.10.1.236. Yes. Most of the cases it is yes only. So it provides subnet associations by the client by default. OpenVPN user you are going to use. Okay, that's it. Once it is set up, you could able to access your OpenVPN server from the browser. Okay, as part of security, we are going to check all the aspects, whatever we have done as of now, and make sure that entire infrastructure is secure. That is the one of the important element you need to take care. Still now, we haven't used our ACM also. I'm going to use that now. If you see here, to log in as a admin, you need to go and use this one. Okay. If I give it in the browser, it should be asked for the username and password. I'm going to set up the password for username would be OpenVPN whenever you are logging from the browser. So it is going to give login as a OpenVPN, right? So I'm setting the, sorry. I'm going to setting up the OpenVPN password. Now let me copy this and log in as a admin. Once you have logged in as a admin, you can able to provide the create the users. So OpenVPN, OpenVPN. I'm signing in as admin. These are the steps you need to do. Usually it is commanded to your task only. Done. I'm agreeing here also. Once you have agreed, you can able to log in OpenVPN. Now, once you have logged in, you need to create users. With this, users can only log into your infrastructure. So I'm going to create a user called demo user and show I'm setting up password for him. I have created a user called demo user and I'm updating it over here. That's it. Now demo user can able to log into your infrastructure from the private IP. I need to provide these details to the demo user, and there is a software appliance is there for OpenVPN that should be downloaded into the client system. Okay. For example, take an example that now I'm in Bangalore and I want to connect to my servers which are there in the North Virginia region without a public net IP address. Now I have the username and password. Let me log into the server and show you how you can log in. So OpenVPN Connect is the software. Here you need to provide your details. So we have created, I need to change this IP address. Wait. So I have installed OpenVPN Connect and our server IP address would be, we need to give our VPN server IP. So OpenVPN server. Okay, this is the IP address we have given. Sorry. Connect it and username demo user we have given. Demo user. Okay. Sorry. Now what I am doing is I am trying to connect to my data center from my laptop. Once it is connected, it is still connecting. Once it is connected, it will tell that it has been established. Connection has been established or connected. Yeah, now you can see here, I have connected. Now let's take a private IP address of any of these server. Now I can able to connect to that server. Let's take web server. It is having a IP address of 10.10.1.172. Sorry, it is in stopped state. Let me take this one and go ahead session. Now you can see here, I have tried to connect to the private IP address. Still it is working, allowing me to provide the credentials EC2 minus user. That's it. How it is possible? Because due to the VPN. If I disconnect this VPN connection, again I cannot able to log in. Okay, if I give disconnect to this, now you can see here, there is no private communication in between your laptop to your data center. That's how the open VPN will be useful. So now I can say that my servers are secure. It can be accessible only over the private network, not with the public network. So connection is fine. Next thing is the security we are going to talk. So let's go back to the security groups. As of now, we have opened all security groups for the internet. So let's go and change the security groups. So if you take your web security group, now you don't want to access this one directly. You want to access it from the your OpenVPN server. So I can edit it and I can change the OpenVPN server security group. SG. So OpenVPN server security group is this one. Now your server is not directly going to get uh, accessible. It is going to accessible only from the OpenVPN. Whoever connects to the OpenVPN, from there they can able to access. Next thing is port number 80 should not be opened for everyone because you don't access your server directly. Only domain name you should access. Whenever you access your domain name, it will come to the your ELB. ELB will come to the your EC2 instance. That's why I need to provide here ELB information, right? Now you can see here, now my EC2 instance security group also secure. Now which one we have used? We have used RDS, this one. Anyway, it is open to only the, okay, not this one. This is the one we are using. It is open to the only web server security group. Next, ELB must open to the internet. There is no changes to this one. Now I can say that it is good, but ELB is using port number 80. I want to use port number 443. For that, you need to change the listeners in your ELB. So let's go. We have already a SSL certificate. I'm going to deploy my SSL certificate over here now. So listeners, edit. Here, change it to the HTTP to HTTPS. Whenever you change, it will ask for the SSL certificate. We have an SSL certificate. I'm going to use this SSL certificate. Now what I can say that your website will be accessible only from the 443 from now onwards. And one more change is I need to change my security group to allow this one. Security group. And ELB security group. Here you need to provide instead of HTTP, HTTPS, nothing but 443 you are going to access. Now go and type vyankil.com. It won't work. Why? Because we are not accessing our server over the port number 80. By default, it is going with the port number 80. That's why it won't happen. So let's go and type HTTPS ://vyankil.com and this will work, and this doesn't work. This won't work. It will tell you that it failed because port number 80 we have closed. Now I can say my infrastructure is securely accessible through the HTTPS. Just now we have attached, that's why it is showing like that. After some time we could able to see this one properly, right? That is how you can able to make sure that your infrastructure is secure. And the next thing is about Lambda function, which will be taking the backup of your snapshots. Uh, Due to the time, I could not able to cover that one. That video is already updated in our YouTube channel. Please go and visit that one. And after this session, I'm going to send this document and this video. Once I have updated in YouTube channel, I will give the appropriate link to you guys. You can go, and I will give the reference YouTube links also to make sure that you can able to do this comfortably. Right? Hope this video is help you, and this session you learn so many things in this session. And see you in next video.